Welcome on board, inspired by nature. And this is the place that I call home. And my name is Dave. And joining me on this episode is my special guest, John Butler. On my journey of ever-changing experiences, I learn through nature's ways and discover that there's more to life than the part that I act out and play. Safe in the hands of nature, whatever life brings before me, all is embraced within this space, in all its natural glory. Sit back, let go, relax, and join me for some wonderful moments of tranquility here in nature's garden, down on the canal. John is a quiet, soft-spoken, down-to-earth man. His journey of self-discovery began with a love for nature as an organic farmer back in the 1970s. Going through earthy struggles and periods of depression, John's strong connection with nature led him to reflect on his experiences, which guided him onto a more spiritual path. John is an author of many inspiring books and has a large following online around the world. On this beautiful spring sunny day, me and John are mooring up to have a little bit of a towpath talk, surrounded by wonderful nature.
There was nothing more natural for me than just to be quiet in the company of trees and buttercups and nettles and all the dear familiar, my little brothers and sisters of the hedgerow.
And of course we've got these lovely, all the bluebells around behind us now.
All the lovely spring flowers coming out. Yes.
How do you connect with nature, John?
First of all, perhaps by not talking. I live in a small flat, but I don't even have a balcony. But I love to look out of the window, dear. I think that's what a wonderful way of often a first step away from this world of man. Two very good first steps. And then As my old granddad used to say, feel your feet on the ground. Because no matter where you are, even in the craziest town, if you feel your feet on the ground, you're connected with the eternal, unchanging presence of Mother Earth. I've had a lifelong acquaintance with grass. I've always loved grass. And on my second farm, there was a very old meadow. And I spent hours studying this grass. I don't know how many varieties of plants didn't grow together. And at different times of the year, different plants would dominate. So that both the big, strong plants and the little, delicate ones each had their time, as it were, when they could flourish. I often thought what a wonderful demonstration that was of life itself, how everybody has their day, has their time. It seems as though the big, aggressive, dominant people have it all their way, but they don't. Their time comes and goes like everything in this life does. Good times and bad times. And nature is a constant illustration of this, of the rise and fall of creatures. They're all coming on the way here. On the boat you pointed out an old dead tree trunk that must have been there a good many years, gradually disintegrating with all the little creatures that are there living their lives as part of this cycle of decay. Here we are sitting surrounded by God knows how many billions of forms of life, every little insect and worm and bug in the soil and plants and creatures in the water and the trees. How many little lives are living without thrusting forward their ignorance on the rest of us. They're just witnessing, bearing witness to what they're called to do. It's extraordinary how aggressive people are. This obsession to thrust forward one's ego, one's me, as advertising one's ignorance. That's what we are, really are.
Yeah.
Advertising our foolishness. Water's wonderful, isn't it? Water, in a place like this, you can look at water, but even if water coming out of a tap immediately connects you with something that's pure and reliable, something that's not really of this world. It's relief, it's healing from this obsession with the conceptual world of man that consists of projected human concepts, which is artificial, you see.
I've got a little low chair and I sit on the roof and it's a good place to be. I get a 360 view and I suppose it's like me climbing trees. I like to climb, I like to get higher.
To go up.
To get high. We like walking up hills, and when you get to the top you have that magnificent view.
Absolutely, dear.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely. Not far from where I live, they've got a children's toy shop, and of course the windows are full of the latest toys, which are these sort of super space age, sort of vehicles and things, and spacemen and all sorts of artificial. But none of these things were invented. And during the war, of course, we didn't have much in the way of toys, just a few animals. And of course, climbing trees and playing in puddles were two of our main
I
amusements.
love jumping in muddy puddles along the towpath.
Which child doesn't? Health and safety hadn't been thought of then.
Yeah, health and safety now. It's
the way we've made climbing into a sort of what I think is a bit artificial, really, with all these ropes and hooks and special equipment, special boots and things that people have these days. I was brought up before any of that. I don't think anybody thought about it. You just clung on with your hands and feet, and when that didn't work,
And just do it for the best.
you managed without.
And if you fell, you know next time.
It's your own silly fault. You learn.
You learn, don't you? You learn by your mistakes.
Yes.
I think that's one of the, talking about that, that's one of the biggest keys for me,
Yes.
is I've always learned by mistakes.
Yes. Well, that's natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's natural. That's how the lambs, every little animal learns that way.
You know next time to do it differently or,
Yes.
or not do that. You know.
I know. What I love about your boat, Dave, is that there's so much wood in it. Almost everything you got is made of wood, particularly a children's desk, school desk. They're beautiful solid wood thing with the inkwell for the ink.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely lovely. It was one of the earlier American musicals called, I think, Annie Get Your Gun, was it? And there was a song there called Doing What Comes Naturally. Yeah. I always thought it was a very good one, doing what comes naturally. Because people, a lot of, I don't mean it in a critical way, but the trouble is, almost nothing in our modern life is natural. So we are brought up unnatural. We are unnatural creatures, desperately trying, or some of us are desperately trying to be natural. Unnatural people trying to be natural. So in a way, it often becomes quite absurd what we end up doing, but all in a good cause of trying to get back to what's meaningful and meaningful, really, in the widest sense. Going back to what's natural, and of course wood. And look at the quality of these chairs that we're sitting on.
They are nice. It's nice to touch and feel wood, and
I love wood. I've got some of those nice bits of old furniture in my little flat. Inherited, my mum and dad had it. Mother polished them, looked after it. It becomes better every year, doesn't it? Beautifully made, the joints work, it doesn't fall apart. Sitting here, we're looking out on hundreds, thousands of different plants and things. And yet it's all living together. There's no separation, is there? Separation doesn't even feature, does it? Look, the little delicate, little tiny little things, little insects, look, little bit of cuckoo spit down there under the shade of this tremendous oak tree, and the two are living in perfect harmony, aren't they? There's no separation. Separation is a concept of man. It's an unnatural feature of human existence. Well, it seems natural because we don't know any better, but we live in a world governed by separation, you and me. Well, this is a wonderful demonstration of sky, water, plant, stone, in complete harmonious coexistence.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
It is.
This is what nature gives us. Naturally, without having to go to school or learn it from books, it's just demonstrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
And those of us who are blessed to spend time in nature just absorb this. It just permeates into our being naturally. Our only problem is that we've got ourselves shut into this unnatural world, which is human concepts. So we live, as it were, in prison, imprisoned in our own, well, a lot of people know what's meant by ego these days, our man-made, me-centered world, which effectively sort of shuts us off, just like a prisoner is shut off from this glorious freedom that's calling us. So really anything that helps us to realize there's more to life than this. It's like a first step. We're on the threshold of this infinite awakening, this infinite potential that is waiting us, this love that knows no end, which all of us are in our heart of hearts craving above all else, isn't it? To love and be loved where it never says no, where there's no end. It's a journey from the unnatural to the natural, and then the supernatural, and the supernatural. where's it end?
And here we are in the natural surroundings of
In the natural
nature.
and the access to the supernatural. And yet, if only we can just find a way of opening the door, like looking out the window, and just let the heart expand into the infinite beyond, from glory to glory without end. And it's all here, isn't it?
Thank you so much for joining me for a little chat on the towpath. It's been lovely.
God bless you, Dave, and God bless you for opening many people's eyes and hearts to the wonders of nature,
Yeah.
which lead ever onwards.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much love.
We're safe with nature, aren't we?
We are safe with nature, yes.
If you've enjoyed your experience watching, please do subscribe, click the like button and leave a comment. To find out more about John Butler, you'll find all the links in the video description. Thank you for tuning in.